I'm Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. Not much change came from the MeToo movement in China, and now detail of one of its few activists has disappeared from the Chinese internet. Mo Salah has been called Man of the Year, but was his photo shoot for GQ problematic? A world record set by a Turkish diver. And a very lazy cat gets our week started in a very lazy way, in Animals Doing Stuff. And top of our newsfeed, Sophia Huang Xuequin. She's a Chinese women's rights activist who's been detained for picking quarrels and provoking trouble. Now, she's a key figure of Chinese cracked down upon MeToo movement, and as Sam reports, she's been scrubbed from the Chinese internet.
Well, when news of a leading Chinese feminist being detained here in China broke last week, social media was set alight. As you can see here, searches for her name skyrocketed on China's Twitter like Weibo as foreign media caught on to the story. Sophia Huang Xuequin, who's a freelance journalist, has been a prominent figure in China's MeToo movement, which took off in the country last year but has come under fire by authorities. She's reported on the movement and even shared her own accounts of sexual harassment as an intern in a national news agency. She also started a blog on China's popular messaging app WeChat, where she carried out surveys on workplace harassment here in China and shared her findings. Now, Huang may have been in Hong Kong recently reporting on the protests for a media outlet called Matters, but it's not clear whether that's linked to her detention. Nevertheless, her arrest has gained traction online, with many expressing their support. Her friends even posted an article praising her work and explaining what they believe happened to her. However, that has since been removed, along with many of the supportive comments. Most of the posts that now show up are largely critical of Huang, saying she deserves to be punished while praising the police. One person said, "You can do anything, but not cross the political red line of China." Of course, censorship like this is not an unusual occurrence here in China, particularly around sensitive issues like these.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. Now, a lawsuit in America is claiming that two pilots of the airline at Southwest placed a camera in the bathroom of the plane they were flying. They were monitoring the camera from an iPad that was in the cockpit, according to legal proceedings, and there was also a loaded gun in the cockpit. So the pilots are still employed by the company and have not responded to requests for comments on the complaint. That's according to BuzzFeed News. Jane Fonda won another award recently from BAFTA. She accepted it while being arrested for protesting to raise awareness about the climate crisis.
Thank you for the Stanley Kubrick Britannia Award for Excellence in Films. Thank you.
And of course, this is not the first and probably won't be the last time the actor and activist will be arrested. This was her. In a second. In 1970, after being busted for carrying vitamins in her bag, which the US police pretended were drugs, she was released soon after, but this mugshot became iconic. And this is a YouTuber called Jimmy Mr. Beat Donaldson. The internet tells me that he is famous for doing stunts and giving money to good causes. His latest cause is the planet, and he, along with 600 other YouTubers, say they plan to plant 20 million trees by the end of the year. They're using the hashtag #TeamTrees. And Thank You Woojin was trending because the Korean pop star decided to leave the group he was in for personal reasons. He was in a band called Stray Kids. Meanwhile, in Australia, they are debating which feathered friend should be declared the bird of the year. The galah, the rainbow bee-eater, the tawny frogmouth, the spangled drongo, the willy wagtail, the pied currawong, to name but a few of the birdies that are in the running for this year's crown. And this is Sahika Ercumen breaking the women's world freediving cave record. She went down 90 meters without fins and, of course, without oxygen at a cave complex off the Turkish coast of Mersin. Next, Nabila has a look at one of the world's best footballers and a perceived double standard which has been revealed after his latest bit of PR.
GQ's Man of the Year, Mo Salah has Brazilian model Alessandra Ambrosio by his side on the magazine's latest cover. But the Liverpool forward, posing shirtless with the model's arms around him, has ignited a debate in the Arab world on modesty, men, women, and double standards. It's no secret that Mo Salah has been hailed as an icon and become a kind of ambassador for Arabs and Muslims in the West. His impact can be heard in the chants. There have been reports of him single-handedly decreasing Islamophobia in Liverpool, and a fan even recently publicly confessed that he converted to Islam because of Mo Salah. Much of the Muslim world rallies behind him, not just because he's a football hero, but because they consider him to be an exemplary Muslim. He also regularly posts kind of revealing pictures of himself on his Instagram. But does that make him an unexemplary Muslim? Well, no, we aren't the moral police, and that's definitely not the question a lot of women on social media are asking, which is, imagine if Mo Salah was a married Muslim woman. Just imagine. Can you imagine the backlash Mo Salah would be getting if he was a married Muslim woman posing with a man in a photo? So let's read some of the things that women are pointing out. Any Arab woman in the public spotlight wouldn't be able to get away with 1/1000 of what Mo Salah is celebrated for. I don't think it's exactly fair to be annoyed at him. Rather, I'm annoyed at the double standards and attitudes. So, are Muslim women policed a lot more than men? Egyptian actress Rania Yusuf was taken to court and faced up to 5 years in prison because she wore this dress at the Cairo International Film Festival. She was accused of incitement to debauchery. Also, Egyptian actor Dalia Mustafa posted this picture of herself wearing a bathing suit on vacation and was trolled heavily on Instagram for being inappropriate. British blogger Dina Tokyo received death threats, among other things, after she took off her headscarf.
Slowly, you will be a porn star. You're a sick bitch, Dina. I hope you and your family all die painfully and slowly. Absolute disgrace.
But it's not just about Mo Salah. There's a whole lot of other Muslim guys who may get a kinder reception from the Muslim public on issues around modesty and even harassment. Mo Salah's teammate Amar Warda was accused of sexual harassment and was dismissed from Egypt's national team, until the Egyptian Football Federation let him off the hook by pardoning and then reinstating him. So Rania Yusuf wears a dress and is charged with the crime and needs to apologize. But a number of women claim that Warda has been sexually harassing them, and the public is quick to forgive. Should we be so judgy? Yes on sexual harassment, but on clothes? And why do we tend to easily overlook what Muslim men do, but feel like we need to drag Muslim women?
Okay, let's take a look at some of the other stories you need to know this Monday. Claudia Lopez has been elected as the first female and openly gay mayor of a city in South America. She's the new mayor of Bogotá, the capital of Colombia. She's promised to fight corruption and advance the rights of minority groups.
Today in Bogotá, change won. The decision to banish corruption and clientelism from the traditional politics of Bogotá won. Through citizen culture, quality education, equality, let's defeat and overcome and unlearn machismo, racism, classism, and homophobia.
A student of languages in Peru made history by writing and defending her thesis in Quechua, a language spoken by the Incas. Her name is Roxana Quispe Colantes, and she says that her aim was to keep her ancient mother tongue alive. Quechua is spoken by at least 8 million people, mainly in Peru. The wildfires in California continue to spread. More than 200,000 people have been evacuated from their homes as the flames continue to be blown by strong winds. Dramatic video of the fires have been posted to social media. Fire crews say they only have control of about 10% of the fires. A high-voltage power cable is being blamed for starting them. The city of Ratodero in Pakistan has more than 1,000 people, most of them younger than 12, who've tested positive for HIV. It's a huge outbreak, and all from a troubling, saddening, maddening cause. Health officials are blaming it on a doctor who was apparently reusing the needles and syringes. His name is Muzaffar Gangaro. Poverty is being blamed. Hu Quan Yao writes comic books in Malaysia. His work has been banned by the government there because they say it's promoting communism and socialism. His latest work is called Belt and Road Initiative for Win-Winism. As the title suggests, it's about China's huge Belt and Road project, which aims to increase trade across the globe and increase the power and influence of Beijing. The book has been removed from schools, and anyone printing, importing, distributing or selling a copy can be fined nearly $5,000. X-37B is back on Earth after breaking a record for being in orbit. The spaceplane, made by Boeing, has been flying around the Earth for 780 days. It's unmanned, and according to the US Air Force representatives who spoke about the top-secret mission, it completed all mission objectives. X-37B is designed to be a reusable spacecraft akin to the Space Shuttle, which was discontinued in 2011. And next to America, where a 16-year-old athlete ran the best race of her life only to be disqualified because she was wearing a hijab.
So, I do my race, I PR'd, I had my best time of the season, and I find out that I had been disqualified from my teammates, and they looked me dead in the eye and said that I got disqualified because of my hijab. And at that moment, I felt like I've been hit by a truck, and I wanted to, I got punched in the gut, and I just wanted to gag. So it was really shocking to me. There are no specific rules in the OSHA rulebook that mention hijab not being allowed. All these rules are very verbal rules that OSHA has always said in their meetings. If you have a Muslim student running for you and they're wearing hijab, make sure that you have a waiver signed. So again, it's a verbal rule. So my coach never saw it fit to sign a waiver for something that's not a rule, and and he didn't think I was violating any rules. I feel like, because of all the support and because of all the people that have been agreeing with me, I feel like my story has been validated almost, and I feel like I'm confident that change will happen. And it, me sharing the story, so many people have come to me and be messaging me like, this same thing has happened to me before. I have experienced something like this, and it's really nice that I had the opportunity to share my dialogue that and a lot of people, they didn't have that opportunity. So bringing awareness really makes me feel satisfied, and I'm confident that the rules will change and that this will never happen again.
And last off, start your week off strong with a hilarious animal doing stuff, and this one is doing very little indeed.
Are you working out? Oh, good girl.
Well, this thing is called Cinder Block, and she's being asked to work out, as you can see, and she is taking very little interest in running on that treadmill. The effort extended is a minimum. She has her own YouTube page where there are more videos of her being as lazy as she likes. Enjoy.
You gonna get out of bed to eat? You wanna eat? Gotta get up. No, I feel that way sometimes. Oh, here she comes.
You gotta love that fat cat. And that is all from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel, and you can follow me on Twitter. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again soon.